Now we're recording. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get started with Kasha.
Can't wait.
Okay. I'm going to do it like this. When is your birthday?
5th of July, 97.
1997?
Yes.
Okay. What time?
10:12 p.m.
Well, and where?
Okay, so it's CIEN. Sorry, no, CIECHANOW. And
Uh-huh.
it's in, yeah,
Chichinov.
yeah, almost Cihanov.
Chichanov. Okay. Okay. 10 degrees Aquarius rising. Does that look right?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, Miss Kasha. I always start with the same question. What is going on in your life lately?
Okay, so I think I can describe this in 3 words. It's I need money. That's all. No, to be honest, for the past 2 years, when it comes to my finances and my career and everything work related, it's been tough. And I felt like I'm stuck and I couldn't move anywhere, like I couldn't find a job. In the last 2 months or 3 months, I lost all my clients. I'm also a content creator and an influencer, let's say. And I didn't have any paid collaborations or anything like that. So it's been bad when it comes to my career. But when it comes to people around me, it's amazing. I have amazing people around me, great friends, people that I can trust. So so that's it, I think.
Okay, so you're a content creator. What kind of content?
Well, I'm also social media manager for other. I used to be okay, but I somehow I lost all the clients. So I used to be a social media manager, like a freelancer, but also I make content about like some jokes, for example, or some my thoughts, anything that comes to my mind, and also like techno events as well.
Techno events.
Yeah, yeah. And even more, sometimes makeup, sometimes like fashion outfits, anything, like everything. Or sometimes about some um meditation, to be honest, everything that I'm interested in.
Okay, so you post online. That's your work and that's something that you do frequently. Do I understand correctly?
Yes.
And you have a following. Is it on TikTok or on another platform?
TikTok, Instagram as well.
Okay, so how many followers do you have around?
Like 150,000.
Uh-huh. Okay, so you've been building your following for a few years, I guess, because that's quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah. Like three
Okay.
years, I think.
Uh-huh. And you just post, it's like lifestyle content.
Yeah, yeah. You can say that. Yeah, it's lifestyle.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Um, and recently things are not going well. What changed?
Um, I I don't know. I just okay. So like 3 years ago, I quit my job. I used to be an executive assistant. It's like an office job, administration and stuff like that. So I quit, and then I was doing some social media management and content creation for companies for a while, like for a couple of years. And in the past, like 3 months, I just lost my clients and I couldn't find new ones. And also, I felt like I hit a wall, and I felt like I was blocked creatively. So I couldn't. I feel like I can't do anything. So I didn't do anything for the past 2 or 3 months, and I took that rest, and it's much. I mean, yeah, it's getting better now again.
Okay. Uh-huh. I think I know what's happening. Um, okay, I'm gonna start reflecting just a few things that I notice about your chart from what we've discussed so far. But I need more information, but still, let's talk about it. Um, let's start with this.
Well, maybe I can say one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
When Saturn was in Aries, I think it was June, July, something like that, maybe August. It was such a good time for me. I felt like I could go forward. And again, Saturn went into Pisces, and I was like, oh my God, no, not again. And then it went retrograde. And that was the time that I couldn't move anywhere, and I felt like I was going backwards actually, and now I feel like I'm just not moving anywhere, which is better than it was before.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're gonna talk about all of that. The first thing that really stands out to me is this opposition in your chart between Venus and Leo on your descendant and Uranus and Aquarius on your ascendant. Okay. When it's about Aquarius, Aquarius has to do with the public. So when you have an audience or when you work collaboratively with other people, for example, you do the social media management for them, or you do collaborations for your audience when you post videos. And of course, the Venus in Leo would be the fact that you're the one to be the face of it. You like to make videos, you like to be in front of the camera, you like to show off. Right? So I guess you're kind of at the center of them when you make your own videos, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if I put in your Mars, he's pretty close to the cusp of your eighth house. But even if he wasn't, if he's just in the seventh in the sign of Libra, notice how these three planets are connected. So this makes me think about you doing the social media management for other people, because Libra is when you do something in collaboration with someone or for someone else. Yeah? So that you're doing social media management for other people, I see it in this triangle here. We're going to get back to that a bit later. The other part that stands out to me is Jupiter in your first house in Aquarius, because you have 150,000 followers. So that's quite a bit. Most people don't really get there. That for me is very much the Jupiter energy that is in your first house. So you're the one to have 150,000 followers. There's the Aquarius. Does that make sense to you so far?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I need a clarifying question before I go to the next part. Is it the case that your daily life is kind of like you record a lot of what you do, like your personal, like when you get out of bed or what you cook for yourself? Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Yes, yes, stuff like that, like my morning routine, night routine, what I eat in a day. So stuff like that. I always record when I'm at home. So
Okay,
yes.
very good. So for me, that is your Moon Mercury conjunction in Cancer. Because your morning routine, what you eat, yeah, you bring people very close and you talk about what's happening in your everyday life. So there's the moon, which is your private life and how you live privately inside of your house, and Mercury, recording it and showing it to the public. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So now in this last period, you also told me that you have felt creatively blocked. Did I understand correctly?
Yes.
So you didn't feel like posting or what?
Yeah. I didn't feel like posting. I felt like I couldn't even I didn't have any ideas what to post and what to record, even though I always record and post similar things, but I just couldn't force myself to even start.
Is that because you're having like a personal change? Like you got tired of what you were doing before? What's the reason that suddenly you feel disconnected from the content?
To be honest, I don't know. Um, I felt like I was doing it uh, for the sake of followers and um, not because I wanted to, and because I wanted to, because I felt like sharing with people, um, and it just made me feel exhausted. I think I was too much of my focus went into the followers and the numbers instead of like the just the pleasure.
Uh-huh. And so,
So I
so
just stopped.
okay, because you don't feel close to, you don't feel a connection with your followers, or you don't want to bring them that close, or what exactly is happening in your relationship to those people?
Because I didn't feel like it was coming from inside of me because I wanted to share. I felt like I wanted to perform for the people, not share part of my day or part of myself with people. I don't know if that makes sense. Like I felt like I was performing, not sharing, and that was the difference. And I don't like to like I didn't feel like I was doing anything that was even authentic in any way. So it was more like performative, not authentic. And I need to feel like I'm authentic. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, that part I'm gonna need a bit more time to understand, but what I want to point out to you straight away is the transit of Saturn. So you can see that Saturn is currently stationary at 25 degrees of Pisces in your first house. And that means that he's stationary in exact trine to your moon Mercury conjunction at 25 and 26 of Cancer. Yeah. So for me, that you've recently felt a change of heart, you feel like you're not really sharing your authentic, deep self with people, which is about the moon, and you've stopped creating. And I guess you also feel kind of down about yourself, or maybe aimless or confused or lost. Because
Yeah.
I guess you're used to talking about yourself pretty frequently, and now you're just not, which is kind of a more introverted energy. So that much I very feel how Saturn is exactly aspecting your moon and Mercury. And think about it. You even said when Saturn was in Aries, you felt like, oh, yeah, I have this energy. Let's go ahead. But then he retrograded back. So he made a trine to your moon and Mercury again. And that's where you're at right now, today. Yeah? Is
And I
this
knew
kind of
it was
low?
this fucking Saturn. I knew it was this Saturn. I but one more thing, I know the words, so I just didn't feel inspired, so I couldn't act on anything because I need to feel inspired to do things.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I
I
can.
totally understand. Something else I want to point out. You said that it was pretty bad, but recently it started to get a little bit better. Did I understand correctly?
Yeah,
Okay. That makes me think about how in the past months, as you said yourself, Saturn was retrograde. But in November, the end of November was the 29th, I think. Saturn turned direct, so he changed directions. So now he's starting to move forward again. So that change in direction of Saturn is what makes me think about you suddenly feeling like, okay, things are starting to slowly improve. But of course, Saturn is still sitting at 25. There's no chance that you're going to feel okay straight away, right? Saturn would have to move away, maybe even into Aries. Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah. And I feel like it's going slowly, but it's like I feel the movement of the energy. Do you know what I mean?
So I'm going to show you if I fast forward 1 month, Saturn is at 27. If I fast forward 2 months, Saturn is at 0 of Aries. Yeah? So that tells me you have about another 2 months of this low period. But momentum is starting to build forward again. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. What changed? Why do you say that suddenly now things are a bit better? What happened?
Actually, the past week was a bit better, and I could finally get back to my routine. I could wake up at a certain time and do my little morning routine with everything, and actually post something that is came from the like I had an inspiration, so I just post some content, but it's been like that for the past week, and actually nothing really changed. In like I didn't do anything. I just felt like I could finally do what I did 4 months ago. Like it just clicked like that, and it's much better.
Hmm. Okay, there's a few things coming up for me. First, I'm going to go back to your chart by itself. And I'm going to remove Saturn for now and just focus on your moon and Mercury. So, you know that the sixth house is the house of your daily routine. Waking up, making the coffee, making your bed, going for a walk, reading a book, going to the gym, like the everyday kind of being alive stuff. So, that this is kind of an important part of your life is the moon in the sixth. And that you record it and you share it with the world is the conjunction with Mercury. And you said that you've been doing that for a while and you like to do it. So, do you see how the two are working together in the sixth house?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what happened last week? I'll show you. I'm going to backtrack 1 week. Oh, okay. Notice where transiting Venus is 1 week ago. Exactly conjuncture midheaven. Yeah? So 1 week ago, Venus entered your 10th house. So that makes me think about how, suddenly I want to show up and make videos again. And I
Yeah.
want to be with people again. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, good. The other part is that Mercury has recently gone direct.
Yeah.
So I guess while Mercury was retrograde, you were working on something else. I don't know what because we haven't talked about it yet. Mercury station direct, it was like November 30th or early December, I don't remember. But I feel that as well, how Mercury starts slowly moving forward, and you also start to go back to what you used to do months ago. Does that part also make sense?
Yeah, it was like
Okay,
that.
very good. Now, you opened the meeting by saying it's about money. So, what is your financial situation like at the moment?
Well, actually, I don't make any money right now. But I live with my boyfriend, and he helps me, um, as he always does when I need it. And I always have people around me that want to help me. So um, yeah, when it comes to my life, it's comfortable, but I couldn't find any job. Like I said, I wanted to find a job. I wanted to feel stable, and I couldn't, even though I tried. Um, what else? I wanted to find clients, and I couldn't. Okay. Um, what else? I have an agency for my social media, my like private influencer social media, and they didn't have any paid collaborations for me as well for the past couple of months, so I just felt blocked.
They didn't have any paid collaborations for you
Yeah.
for the past couple of months,
Yeah, like 3 months.
and still not.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's who used to give you money, who used to pay you, is it?
The agency and my clients.
Okay, and your clients are the people that you manage their social media.
Yeah.
Okay, altogether between the social media management and your agency that pays you for paid collaborations, how much do you earn? Like, is it enough to support yourself as an individual?
Yeah. It usually is, but not recently.
But now it's nothing. Uh-huh.
And it also depends on the month, so it's not super stable. That's why I was also thinking about getting a job, like in an office or something like that. I also wanted to get a um, waitress job or stuff like that. And I also have a experience in working in a restaurant, but I couldn't get that kind of job either. So I was just like, I don't know. I don't know what was going on.
Uh-huh. And so what was the period during which you were searching for work?
I think it started in September, maybe October, September, October, November, and December. I just stopped. I gave up.
Uh-huh. So you were searching for work all that while and nothing was coming.
Yeah,
What were you doing instead?
nothing. Just looking for a job and making some content sometimes, and just I was just chilling.
Just chilling.
Yeah. I mean, I was also meeting some friends, and I was focusing on just spending time with my friends, to be honest, because like I didn't have anything that much to do, so and I was lying in bed as well and watching Netflix. That's what I was doing.
So you were resting a lot. You were hanging out at home.
Yeah, yeah. I felt
Okay.
like I needed that rest, and nothing was happening when it comes to my career, my job. So I was like, okay, if I have to rest and lay down for a couple of months, then I'll do it. I wasn't forcing anything because it wasn't working.
Were you spending more time with your boyfriend maybe or with your family?
With my close friends, and they're like family.
Okay. And so what do you do together with them?
They were just coming over to our place, and they also make events like parties. So I was helping them a lot. I was consulting them when it comes to their social media and marketing strategy. Um, Sometimes we just went out to the movies, just typical stuff.
Uh-huh. And that was since September.
Yeah, it started in September.
Okay. There's a few things coming up from you. Let's see. One of them is that during September, now notice you have a very large seventh house. That's because I use the Placidus house system. Maybe you use whole sign, I'm not sure, do you?
I don't know. I can't
You
remember.
don't,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
okay. So in the house system that I'm using, your seventh house is huge. I mean, look at how wide it is.
Yeah.
So it covers quite a bit of space. And so if I go to the beginning of September, let's just say September 1, that is when you have your Venus return. And then Venus enters your seventh house. The seventh house is the house of friendship. It's your one-on-one relationships, going out and meeting someone for coffee, going to the movies with another friend, inviting them over so you guys can watch a movie at your house. That's very much kind of seventh house. And so what I notice is like if I fast forward 1 month, Venus is still in your seventh. If I fast forward another, Venus would have just left your seventh. So that makes me think about a very beautiful period with your friends getting to hang out and spend more time together. Yeah?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Then the other part is during the same period, Jupiter, transiting Cancer, has been conjunct your moon and Mercury the whole period. And that makes me think about how you got to get plenty of rest because that's Cancer, right? Being introverted, being inside, getting rest, sleeping, and being with your closest friends, Cancer. And so the Jupiter has been conjunct your moon and Mercury in Cancer makes me think, okay, you don't have work, but you get to spend a lot more time doing things privately, quietly. Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah. My private life was really great. So the bad thing about my life is just my career and finances at the moment.
And that makes me think about the square between Jupiter transiting Cancer and your natal Saturn in the second house. Because the Jupiter and Cancer transit for me is okay. You got to spend lots of time with your friends and at home, resting, taking care of yourself, rejuvenating. But the square for me is that it came at the expense of you having money and also probably that you wanted to do something. That's the Aries energy, right?
Yeah,
But you couldn't, which is the Saturn.
yeah. So
Okay.
that's why I felt blocked. Like it was okay because I could rest and spend time with my friends, but at the same time, I wasn't, I didn't want to rest. Do you know what I mean? So I had to, but I didn't really want to.
Mhm. Okay. So where are you at now? Like more recently? Are you getting clients? Are you looking for that? What's happening at the
Yeah,
moment?
I'm more actively looking for new clients, and I'm working on some other my new project, like um, focusing on marketing my social media management accounts. So that's what I'm focusing on, and yeah, that's my main focus. So like I feel like soon I'm gonna get some clients. I don't know, that's just my like intuition. So I just finally could relax and just do my
Uh-huh.
thing, not pushing forward. I just do what I feel inspired to do, and I know it will work out.
Okay, so that of course makes me think about the slow motion of Saturn, that he's starting to move towards Aries. So at the moment, nothing is happening, but you have faith that things are going to move along. So I sense how you feel, okay, you've been unblocked, and although nothing extraordinary has taken place, you feel that there is a positive movement. You feel that the big block is finished, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so that for me is that Saturn is now direct. And I guess you started to feel that maximum 2 weeks ago.
yeah. Maximum 2 weeks ago. Yeah, even
Okay.
1 week ago, I think.
Okay. Okay, so that's very much about Saturn. You just told me that you have a new project. What does that mean?
I mean, I'm more focused on marketing my social media for my social media management. So that's my project because I didn't market it that much. I was just applying for some freelance jobs on other websites, and now I'm creating accounts for me, but not me privately, but other accounts for me, uh, my business. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
something like
And so your business is as a social media manager, is that right?
yeah.
What does that mean? What exactly is your role?
It used to be like that. I used to like make strategies and plan content and make content for clients, post the content and stuff like that. And now I wanted to move um, into more like advising, like an advisor, and analyze people's accounts and just helping them, consulting, stuff like that, not strategizing or making content for them, but more to be like consultant when it comes to social media.
Hmm. Meaning you're coaching people how to improve their social media without actually creating the content for them.
Yes, and that's my kind of new project because I wanted to move from doing everything uh, to just consulting and coaching.
So what that tells me is that whatever you were doing before was too much work.
Yeah, kind of. I just, like I said, I need to feel inspired to make content. And for other people, I couldn't feel that inspiration. It was draining for me. It was um exhausting. So I figured,
Okay.
yeah, I figured that if I just advise people, then it won't drain my energy that much, and I can focus on creating content for myself.
Uh-huh. Okay, now it's starting to make better sense. Let me guess. I'm looking currently at like around March, April. So let's just say the beginning of this year. Is that the time you were burning out from doing too much work?
Let me think. Maybe, yeah, maybe kind of, but it's been for a while now, like for a year or more. I feel like it's exhausting. Like it wasn't something that I wanted to do, but I was doing it.
Uh-huh, but you had to.
Yeah. Like I didn't have
Ah,
any other idea. What can I do instead? And now I had this idea and I'm just
oh my
pursuing.
God, I get it now. I'm guessing you also had trouble sleeping.
Yeah. I recently started to take magnesium and it helped. Um,
Okay. Okay, I get it. I get what's happening. Okay. Um, I'm gonna take out Jupiter for now. Okay, now it's all starting to make sense. See, it just takes some time. At the beginning of this year, and for the past year, let's say year and a half, the main transit that you've been undergoing is Saturn trining your moon and Mercury. Now, look, Saturn is in your first house. Yeah. So you're the one to do the hard work. And of course, the sixth house is also the house of work in general, like where you have to produce something every day because that's how you earn your money. Sixth house. So think about it. Transiting Saturn the entire year is making a trine to your moon and Mercury. And you have to produce work, even though on the inside you don't feel inspired to do it. So I'm sure it made you depressed and exhausted.
yeah, just burnt out.
Exactly. Which is exactly the energy of Saturn to the moon, burning out, being tired, not being too happy. Now I see that there's a great logic in the fact that you lost all of your clients because it was no longer aligned with the things that you want to do moving forward. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Uh-huh. Okay, so now I see that you're kind of thinking of, okay, now you want to do something that is more kasha.
Yeah,
Okay. That then, so notice what's happening currently. Jupiter is conjunct your sun and will make the exact conjunction again around March of next year. So when it's about the sun, it's something that you want to create. In this case, it's about your journey as an entrepreneur, for example. And the Jupiter is making a conjunction to your sun this year makes me think about how, well, what you were doing before is kind of reached its conclusion. Now you're ready to get a promotion, basically. That promotion being this new project, right? Because the conjunction of Jupiter to the sun is the beginning of a new 12-year period of expansion for you in terms of business. So this is what I see happening. You're just starting a new business.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's more aligned with me, um, my interests.
Okay. Now I also see your Cancer stellium because you are helping other people figure out social media. So even though it's not a traditional kind of cancer, it's still taking care of other people and guiding them, helping them grow, watering their business. Yeah?
It's not only social media, but also it's something between helping them grow social media, but also help them grow as a person. So I'm trying to just make two things work, and that's my plan.
Okay. So that tells me, because of the timing here, most likely it's gonna start taking off towards like February, March of next year.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Okay. So you'll have to be patient for a bit. But this
Yeah, I
is a
feel
very
like
good,
this. I feel like right now it's going to be like preparation time.
exactly. Yeah. Okay. Does that all make sense now when you see how it's happening, the timing of it?
Yeah, it's everything. Everything makes sense. No, to be honest.
Okay.
And even the past couple of months, I felt stuck, but I didn't want to force. I mean, I was trying to force it, but then I realized that there's no point. So I just, let's say, gave up and I stopped looking for a job and forcing looking for clients because I felt like, okay, I don't feel inspired right now, but it will come eventually. I will feel the creative flow again, and this idea will come to my head because it always does. And I cannot force it. So I just took some rest, and it wasn't easy, but it finally this idea finally came to my mind.
hmm So I'm guessing that November was the period when you stopped doing everything, when you gave up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I say that because in November, four planets were stationary, meaning motionless. So imagine four planets don't move.
Yeah.
Of course, you also stop moving. And then all of those planets changed directions. Some of them went retrograde, some of them went direct. That is when you had the new idea. So the new stimulus to move forward was something different. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt everything, every move of each planet.
Okay. Okay, good. So now we know you're going to start a new business. It's going to take some time to attract new clients, but you have a new concept. So you're done with the exhausting stuff, and now there's something much more fun for you coming.
Yeah, so much more exciting. Like I feel the excitement again, and like I really want to do things and actually wake up in the morning. Let's say because for the past couple of months, I couldn't even get up in the morning because didn't, I couldn't like, I didn't feel this. I don't know, reason to. You know what I mean? I mean, I wasn't that depressed, but I didn't have much to do, so I was just lying in bed until 10 a.m. But now I'm back to my routine when I wake up at 5 a.m. and it's really good.
Hmm Yeah, so that again makes me think about Saturn making exact aspect to your moon over the past couple months. You don't even feel like getting out of bed to live because there's nothing to live for.
That depressing. I didn't have motivation to wake up early, so I just slept as much as I wanted to.
Totally. Yeah. And you know, that makes me think about like the Cancer moon together with the Pisces, both of which have to do with sleep. And so you were sleeping and resting a lot, even if you didn't want to, but you were forced to.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Okay, so that's on the work side of things. Yeah. What else is going on in your life simultaneously?
So like I said, when it comes to friends, it's amazing. Like I feel like I grow together with my friends, like grow as a person and they grow as a person as well at the same time. So we grow together. So we're really close. When it comes to my relationship, it's quite good, but well, I wanted to leave my boyfriend, to be honest, for a while now, but I couldn't because I had no money. So I just stayed in the relationship. It's not bad, but I just don't feel fulfilled, and I think he doesn't feel that happy with me as well. So, but I had to stay, and I will have to stay for a while, I think. So it's not that bad, but it could be
Mm,
better. And I wanted to
mm,
move because I think I live on my Pluto line, which is quite bad. Um, so I wanted to move, but I couldn't. Maybe next year or in a while.
hmm. Hmm. So what's happening with so since how long do you feel like you're distant from your boyfriend, let's say?
I don't know for a while. I think it just grew in me. So it's difficult to say when it started, actually. But let's say like 6 months at least.
Uh-huh.
But maybe it started like 6 months ago, and then everything just collapsed. When the this idea was growing in me, then just
So what's the issue for you with him?
like I don't feel like we belong together. That's the issue. Like he's
Oh.
great as a person. He's great as a person, and um, I think we are quite okay together. But there's no romance, and there's no. Um, we're on different paths. I think we used to be similar when it comes to um, I don't know, our beliefs and our goals in lives and what we expect from life. But then we just went separate ways and just decided to, I think, pretend that it's okay. And if we've been together for 8 years,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I think he thinks he deep down he thinks the same.
Yeah.
But he is a Pisces, so I think he's a bit more delusional when it comes to.
So does that mean that you don't like to spend too much time with him, or you feel kind of cold towards him, or you don't cuddle as much in the past 6 months?
Yeah, I feel like I'm cold towards him, and yeah,
Uh-huh.
so I don't feel like cuddling and stuff like that. But like, it's not like I don't want to spend time with him because um, we have the same friend group, and I like to spend time with him, but more as friends than anything else.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So notice you're talking about the same time period. Again, it's the last 6 months.
Yeah.
So you're going through some kind of really big changes, I feel. Um, Now what stands out to me, of course, is that in those past 6 months, Saturn again is making exact aspect to your moon in Cancer. which is about your closest relationship, typically your spouse. In this case, your boyfriend. I mean, he's basically your husband since you've been together 8 years. And so that you feel very cold towards him, Saturn to the moon. You don't cuddle as much, Saturn to the moon. Maybe you have less sleepovers. Is it?
No, we live together, so but I'm not
Oh.
cuddly, touchy person, to be honest at all. So it's always been like that. But now I just don't feel like it even more.
Uh-huh. And so what does that, how do you stay away?
I don't stay away. I got used to it.
But on the inside, I guess you feel cold.
Yeah, yeah. But I, like I said,
Mm.
I'm actually I'm a, let's say I'm a cold person. Okay, so I don't like touching too much. I don't like lovey-dovey stuff. So I always been like that. So there's not so much difference, but I just my feelings are different.
Hmm. Okay.
And I just avoid connecting. So deep
Hmm.
conversations, that's what I avoid the most because conversations, even fights for me are very intimate. So I just avoid.
Aha!
So I've been
There.
avoidant.
Do you see? Okay, so there's your Moon Mercury conjunction in Cancer. Conversations, deep conversations about yourself and your feelings. Yeah, that for you is very intimate. Moon, Mercury conjuncting Cancer.
Yeah.
And in this period, Saturn is exactly trying to both of them, and you're avoiding those intimate conversations.
But I have those conversations with my friends, and it's fun. I like it. So at the same
Okay.
time,
Uh-huh. So what does that make the environment at home be like?
it's it's not bad. Like we don't fight. He's at work most of the time, so maybe that's why. Okay. And on the weekends, we usually spend some time with friends. So we're in a group of friends. We don't spend that much time together alone.
Okay. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. And I guess you also don't want to, like you push to be with friends instead, or you
Yeah,
rather.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
didn't even have to push him, or he wanted to spend that time with our friend as well. So I believe he feels the same towards me, but maybe he
Okay.
doesn't realize it yet.
Wow. That's deep.
Yeah, but we're actually very connected, and I can feel sometimes his emotions as well.
Okay. Mm-hmm. There's something else that stands out to me. In this entire conversation, which is very different from what other people report, I notice what a big part of your life your friends are. So you keep talking about, yeah, I hang out with friends, I love to connect with them and to talk with them and to do things together, to go out, to help them with their social media. So I just feel how that social aspect of your life is really focus. Would you
Yeah,
agree?
yeah, yeah. I don't even push it; it just happens. I think, and we've been friends for 2.5 years, or even 3 years, I think, with those people that I'm talking about. But we had like roller coaster sometimes. So sometimes it was better, sometimes it was worse. But we've been through a lot together. Like those friends had a breakup, and then like stuff like that. So sometimes it was better, sometimes it was worse. But now since September, it's really great, and just I don't push, but uh, it just happened. Like it's a big part of my life, those friends. But
Hmm.
not only them, to be honest. I also have some other friends. Like I don't know, just suddenly I have a lot of people around me that are really great.
Okay. This makes me think very much about your Jupiter in Aquarius in your first house. You're a social person, you have lots of friends, you're well connected, you love to spend even more time with them, and inevitably your network grows and grows.
Yeah, I'm not even that extroverted, to be honest.
Yeah, which makes sense because your moon and Mercury are both in Cancer, and your sun, right? Which is a very introverted sign. But
Yeah.
still, you're also an Aquarius rising, which is a very extroverted sign.
Yeah, yeah, but I think people think that I'm extroverted. I'm more introverted, but just people assume that I'm very social, so that's why they around me. I don't even I never ask them to be around me, and I've never been alone in my life, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, that makes me think about your Venus in Leo. People think you're extroverted. I guess you're kind of entertaining.
Maybe, yeah, yeah. I like to make jokes, and I think so, yeah.
Okay. So you see, there's Venus in Leo. I like to make jokes. People are always around me. People think I'm extroverted. But just behind Venus is the moon in Cancer, which is much more about privacy, comfort, and closeness. So there's the two of them. But what's
Yeah,
interesting is that Venus is visible because she's on the horizon. She's conjunct the descendant. So that makes me think about how that part of you is kind of very expressed. Yeah. Also the fact that you record yourself, like Venus in Leo, right? You're talking. You love to be in front of the camera.
yeah,
But
that shows.
notice what you're so Venus and Leo on the descendant, you're in front of the camera. But what are you doing in front of the camera? You're showing people your private life and your daily routine. Moon in Cancer in the sixth.
And my thoughts and opinions as well, sometimes controversial.
Like what?
Just making jokes about men, for example, or something like that.
Making jokes about men. Can you say
Yeah.
more about that?
Um, just like laughing at the patriarchy. That's what I do. Like make jokes about controversial topics
Make jokes about controversial topics. Okay. Um, that makes me think
and
about your son.
sarcastic jokes, something like that.
Okay. That makes me think about your Sun Saturn square. So the sun is in the fifth house in your chart. The fifth house is the house of fun, like making jokes. And I would say that Cancer is more like the matriarch. It's the woman, it's the mother. And the square with Saturn in Aries for me is the let's say negative opinion about men. Just to make it simple. I know it's not that simple, but for the sake of our conversation. So the Sun Saturn square for me is that you highlight through comedy all the things that are wrong with patriarchy.
Yeah,
Aries, which is the young man, yeah, and Saturn, which is the established order, and the Sun, which consistently brings visibility to something. So in your case, it's about the patriarchy. Does that make sense?
yeah, it does. It's exactly like this.
And you can see that also like Mercury square Saturn, both the Sun and Mercury square your Saturn, which also makes sense, right? Because you talk about it in front of the camera. Mercury. Okay.
Yeah, and also when it comes to my friends, like I always tell mean jokes and just make fun of some traumatic things in my life, but also in my friends' life as well. Even though some people are scared to talk about those things, and I don't. Whenever something has to be said, then I say it. When other people are afraid to say. Does that make sense?
Hmm. Yeah, totally. It just makes me think about your whole Cancer stellium, squaring Saturn, especially the moon Mercury, because you said you're very comfortable with saying something, right? So the moon is something that you're naturally predisposed to, whereas Mercury is the one to communicate, and Saturn is the one to give trauma. And Saturn is also the establishment, meaning the order,
Okay.
the status quo. And so that you easily cut through and you make mean jokes and you talk about all the hard things that maybe other people would rather avoid, but you just simply talk about it.
Yeah.
For me, this is what's happening. Okay, okay. Let's pause here for today then.
Okay. It was
Okay.
it was really helpful to understand what is going on in my life, to be honest. I mean, I knew some things, but first of all, I wasn't sure about it because I was just doing it on my own, and I'm not an expert. I'm not. I've been into astrology for like 5 years, I think, but it's not, like I said, I'm not an expert. Okay, so it was a good confirmation, but also some nuances that you told me. I was shocked. It was the exact thing that was going on in my life.
Yeah, and do you see also how the more that you talk, the more that you share different things that are happening in your life, the more we visit different parts of the chart, because different
Yeah,
parts of the chart are obviously being expressed in what you're talking about. So, we covered, let's say, that much of your life, which is enough for the time being. And so the more you look, the more you'll find, basically.
yeah. Well, actually, we covered a lot of what's going on right now in my life.
Yeah.
Um, so that's great.
Okay, very good. I'm just gonna stop the recording now, and then we'll just
Okay.
say a few more words to each other. Okay, just one moment.